I'm an emerging filmmaker. Hi everyone, it's me, Maria Tran.
Hi, I'm Maria Tran.
Hi, my name is Maria Tran.
Hello, it's Maria Tran here.
I've done producing. I did produced a film called Maximum Choppage, and in that film I was also acting and did some fight choreography with that. I did Downtown Rumble, which was aired nationally on ABC JTV in 2008, and that was such an exciting experience, particularly working with director-writer Craig Anderson. Ever since then, I worked with Information and Cultural Exchange as the Youth Digital Cultures Coordinator, and in that role it was basically running a series of projects, a series of mentorships for young people from culturally diverse backgrounds in this area. Growing up for me, I've been travelling a bit from Brisbane to Sydney, but wherever my family would go would pretty much live in the suburbs that are replications of, you know, Chinatown or Vietnam Town. So even coming out down to Sydney, my family decided to move out western Sydney, close to Cabramatta. And growing up, it's sort of, I think, always feeling that you're stuck between two worlds, being in hybrid cultures. Not sure if you're Australian or whether or not you're Asian, you're sort of in between. But I guess now coming to this point, I'm just interested in being able to represent stories that come from that hybrid culture.
He cured her, fell in love, and married her.
I was a part of the Vietnamese theatre project, which was a project that it stemmed off from Vietnamese stories and also Vietnamese story cubes, which was also another pilot project that was run about a year ago. That kind of explored more of Vietnamese, storytelling, Vietnamese narratives, and also identities as well. Through the Vietnamese theatre project, I got a chance to work with a bunch of awesome young people who brought on board their multimedia talent, as well as the elders who were predominantly, in the beginning, were quite rigid to what stories were supposed to be told, and a lot of times they didn't want to change things that they feel was a part of their legend or a part of their folklore. And it took a lot of work until finally the group started to evolve, to open up, to actually bring in some new concepts, have fun with multimedia, have fun with comedy. So that's where I kind of got my chance to play a role on that project.
My ultimate goal leads to one thing. In less than 21 days, travelling over 8 locations across Australia to retrace Jackie Chan's footsteps in the country. That's Jackie Chan's home in Canberra.
Starring Maria Tran and maybe Jackie Chan.
I decided to do a quest for Jackie Chan because after Maximum Choppage, after Downtown Rumble, I thought, yes, Australia is about to open up and make more, martial arts or action films. It turned out no, that was pretty much it. After that, we kind of hit a ceiling effect where, people were saying, action isn't really a genre in Australia. Try to find some other project and work on that. And I thought to myself, you know what, I really want to do action films. I really want to make films that have that sort of feel like the whole Hong Kong era. Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, Michelle Yeoh, they all worked together as a team, and they all worked on so many different films of the action film genre, and the fight choreography on those films were spectacular. They were detailed, and I could just see the precision they put into making those films. So I thought, why isn't Australia making those types of films? Until one day I realised, after talking to a few colleagues, that why don't you go meet Jackie Chan? Why don't you ask Jackie Chan? I thought to myself, that is crazy. Who am I to go find him and go, hey Jackie, what's the future directions for action films and the stuff that you do? Who am I to do that? But then after setting aside all the thoughts of, I can't, I started to think, what if I went on this crazy adventure? What if I told people that, hey, I'm doing this crazy project, do you want in? What if I do that? And then slowly things start to snowball. And I'm starting to see that, not only normal people are getting on board the project to support me, but all the way to mainstream, they're starting to turn an eye and say, you know what, this project sounds exciting. It sounds like an adventure. You're like a nobody and you're trying to meet the biggest superstar in the world. We want to see what happens during this process. So the Quest for Jackie Chan Urban Action Film Night, it launched in August, and in a way I wanted to celebrate the beginnings of my project, but not only that, but also address a pretty big common issue, which is about the discussions on the action film genre in Australia, and also independent filmmaking in Australia. So I thought having those two tied together in one event would not only draw a lot of people who have a lot to say about the issue of action films, but also draw in a mix of different crowds so they can sort of network and mingle and really feel the spirit of what Quest for Jackie Chan is about, which isn't just about meeting Jackie Chan. It's pretty much about the whole, the spirit of filmmaking, the spirit of independent filmmaking, and also collaboration and networking to get projects up and running. So I guess the format of the night was that we had a panelist of industry filmmakers. We've got like Anthony Sito, who's a Hong Kong-based action film director who came to that event. He was our featured guest and spoke a lot about where Australia is in terms of filmmaking on an international arena.
Unlike what's happening in Australia, the world wants to see action. There's no question about that. Where I'm working at the moment, we're trying to churn it out. We're trying to find people who want to do action. We're finding it difficult to find talent for people who want to do action. There's not enough action. So one of the reasons why I left Australia is because it's not happening here. But it's happening everywhere else.
Fireball, I'm atomic all day now. Talking about game, got bars like a playground. Hey now, I hope you're ready for the takedown. Tell Sarah and Izzy to hit me with the breakdown.
Money over here, money over there. Trying to get the phone and throwing money everywhere. Yeah, she fireball, yeah, she fireball.
Fireball, bitch.
I really hope that this project could spark this sort of the passion that young people have in projects, and for young people not to be sort of swayed by people saying, oh, you can't do it, or it's too hard, or you're not old enough, or you're not this and that. Do it. Who cares about what other people say? You go do it, you go pave the way, and then afterwards, people will naturally, pick it up and follow your lead and support you. But the first instance with any project, if anyone wants to make it, is to actually put yourself on the line first.